And the final cherry on top, his whispered line to his father. It's a good thing that grandfather and the uncles aren't here. The awareness, the cunning. He knows exactly what he's doing and who he needs to hide it from. The mad puppy is no longer just a troublemaker. He's a tycoon in the making. He has the power, the influence, and now the capital to fund any scheme his brilliant, chaotic mind can conceive. The stage is set for a glorious trip to the capital. He's rich, he's powerful, and he's utterly unhinged. The high society of Deaconess will never know what hit them. The scene? A final briefing. Our magnificent Kieran is, of course, already causing trouble, sipping water served by his newly acquired, utterly devoted lackey, Orhan. The rehabilitation is going swimmingly, and Commander Valerius is at his wit's end, already anticipating the sheer, unmitigated chaos 2 unsupervised Leston boys will unleash on the unsuspecting capital. The dread is palpable, but the true meat of the chapter is a private whiskey-soaked meeting between Grandpa Theron and Papa Ronan. The old wolf reveals his true intentions. Sending the boys to the capital isn't just about obeying a summons, it's a test. He wants to see how far his brilliant, monstrous grandson can see into the political abyss. He's throwing Kieran into the deep end to see if he can swim with the sharks, the pressure, the expectations. And Papa Ronan, he's transformed. Once a man uncomfortable in the shadow of his martial family, he now stands confident, declaring his absolute trust in his son. I trust my son, he says, and the weight of that statement shifts the very dynamics of the family, the character growth, the drama. The stakes are crystal clear. The capital is a nest of vipers. The emperor is fearful and manipulable. The other great nobles are scheming, and the Leston family has a target on its back. This trip is a dangerous gambit, but Theron is betting everything on Kieran's potential. The stage is set for a glorious, dramatic, and undoubtedly chaotic debut in the heart of the Empire. Our mad puppy, now backed by a formidable personal fortune and his father's unwavering faith, is about to be unleashed on the capital. The scene? The luxury train car. Our magnificent Kieran is, of course, bantering with the long-suffering Hans, while poor Lucien is snoring like a lumberjack. The camaraderie, the casual disrespect, I am living for it. But our boy is restless. He's already bored of the journey and plotting ways to cause chaos in the capital. He's even considering Hans's terrible advice about courting scandal with noble ladies. The horror, the hilarious miscalculation. But wait! A sudden vibration. His sword, the glorious guillotine, begins to hum with ominous energy. It senses danger. The foreboding is palpable. Our brilliant protagonist immediately goes on high alert, slapping poor Lucien awake and barking orders at Hans. The tension builds. He deduces the threat must be external. He tries to warn them to stop the train. But he's a fraction of a second too late. Boom! An explosion rocks the train. The screen shakes. The sound design is immaculate. Chaos, terror, the cliffhanger of all cliffhangers. Who dared to attack a train protected by the Imperial seal? What is the goal? Is it assassination? A kidnapping? A message? The plot thickens faster than a bowl of royal oatmeal. The capital awaits. But first, our wolves must survive this ambush. A political nightmare in the Thebe autonomous territory. Mayor Grine is trying to manage a room full of squabbling, greedy council members. A task more difficult than taming a hydra. The bickering, the accusations. It's a symphony of incompetence. And just as he's about to lose his last shred of patience, the bombshell drops. A train from Azeroshan Castle has been attacked. The train, the one carrying our beloved Kieran and Lucien. The mayor's reaction, priceless. He starts smoking indoors. When a rule stickler breaks his own rules, you know the world is ending. We're all as good as dead, he says. And he's not wrong. To attack the Leston family is to declare war on the Empire itself. Cut to the wreckage. Our boys are shaken, but miraculously unharmed, thanks to some handy protective magic. But the brilliant Kieran immediately deduces the horrifying truth. This wasn't just an attack, it was treason. The tracks are the Emperor's property. The sheer gall of their enemies takes my breath away. And then, the true danger reveals itself. 30 masked assailants, led by a 6-star knight, emerge from the smoke. They want Kieran alive. They think this makes them safe. Oh, you foolish, foolish people. They have not realized they are not the hunters. They are the prey. In a moment of chilling clarity, our mad puppy grins and realizes the one glorious advantage he holds. They can't kill him, but he can absolutely slaughter them. The stage is set for a bloodbath. A cornered wolf is dangerous enough, but a cornered wolf who has been given permission to bite? It's a slaughter waiting to happen. The scene? A field of utter devastation. Our boy isn't just fighting, he's conducting a symphony of slaughter. While the enemy is hobbled by their orders to capture him alive, Kieran has no such restrictions. He's painting the grass red with Ocean Wolf Sword Art's Form 4. Raging waves, the efficiency, the cold, ruthless precision. He's a force of nature, and his sword, guillotine, is the harbinger of pure, primal fear. And the best part? His brilliant, twisted logic. They can't kill me, but I can absolutely slaughter them. The sheer, breathtaking gall. He turns their greatest constraint into his ultimate weapon. The enemies are frozen not by strategy, but by the soul-deep terror his sword carves into their minds. But wait, a worthy opponent emerges. Zion Hakimi, a 6-star knight from a foreign sultanate. A real threat. He pushes the valiant Hans to the brink, even ready to burn out his own life force. But does our magnificent protagonist wait for the epic duel to conclude? Oh, please? He casually strolls over in the middle of his own killing spree and severs the man's arm mid-attack. The disrespect, the sheer, unmitigated nerve. This seemed like the most urgent situation, he says, as if he's just tidying up. I am cackling. And the final, glorious twist, the knight's body was a Trojan horse, rigged with a self-destruction spell. As Hans heroically throws himself over Kieran, a voice, the sword's voice, echoes in his mind, ready to protect its master. The cliffhanger is exquisite. What magic does guillotine hold? Will our boys survive the point-blank explosion? If you enjoyed this tragicomic opera, and how could you not? Do grant us a grand applause, a like, a subscribe, ring that bell so you don't miss a single moment of our next dramatic recap. The aftermath of the explosion. Thanks to the heroic sacrifice of Hans and the last-minute intervention of a certain chatty sword, our boys are alive. But the revelation is what truly shakes the foundation. Guillotine has an ego, a voice, and the attitude of a disgruntled aristocrat. The banter between master and sword is an absolute masterpiece. Kieran, ever the little chaos demon, immediately starts teasing his sentient weapon, calling it a cursed sword and complaining about its sharp tongue. He even sheathes it just to get the last word. The disrespect. The hilarious, beautiful disrespect. I am living for this dynamic. But beneath the comedy lies crucial lore. The sword reveals it needs to absorb mana from blood to regain its strength and communicate. It's not a curse, it's a feature. And it's been aware of Kieran's reincarnated soul since the very beginning. The plot. It thickens. Meanwhile, poor Lucien is dealing with the heavy weight of his first kill, a necessary but painful step in his growth. And the valiant Hans is recovering, rightfully wary of their rescue by the Thebe vigilantes. The mystery deepens as they identify the 6-star knight as Zion Hakimi from the Qajar Sultanate, a move that makes no logical sense and risks all-out war. The web of intrigue stretches across borders, and our boys are stuck right in the middle of it. The chapter ends with our battered heroes arriving at the glittering, prosperous city of Thebe. But as Kieran so aptly puts it, damn, it's too fancy. A storm is coming to this city, and the mad puppy and his talking sword are at the eye of it. The glittering city of Thalin welcomes our young wolf, Seal Arden, heir to the Duke's house, but behind all that luxury, corruption thicker than perfume. The mayor, Lord Grevin, rushes to greet them, all smiles and sweat. Thank the heavens you're safe, he says, as if the gods suddenly care about politics. The man's terrified. The Duke's train was just bombed. If anyone had died, Thalin would have burned by morning. Seal's expression doesn't change. You don't look like the man Hans described, he says, which, in noble language, basically means, you look suspicious. Poor Grevin tries to laugh it off, bowing and babbling about loyalty, but Seal cuts through the act like a blade. Relax, Mayor. I didn't come to hang you, unless you'd prefer to kneel. Grevin quickly sits. Smart man. Then the talk turns serious. The explosion wasn't magic, no traces of mana, just simple mining explosives, meaning someone smuggled them in. And Thalin is known for smugglers. Before Grevin can defend himself, his secretary bursts in. Mayor, the capital's sending the director of the National Tax Service, Gale Perron himself. Grevin freezes. Everyone in the Empire knows that name, the demon of the tax office. And worst of all, he's Seal's grandfather. Seal just smiles. Do you know my family motto, Mayor? Repay kindness 10-fold, and debt 100-fold. Now the mayor understands. This isn't a polite visit. It's a warning. There's a traitor in the city, and the Duke's little wolf plans to find them personally. Later, Seal lounges in his suite with his cousin Leon and Knight Harris. Leon, still clueless, asks, Why is everyone so scared of your grandpa? Seal chuckles. Because they've got things to hide. When Harris mentions that Special Division 1, the armed tax enforcers, are arriving soon, Leon's jaw drops. You need soldiers to collect taxes? Because not everyone pays willingly, dear cousin. Then Seal's tone hardens. 3 knights, 2 servants dead. Whoever planned this attack, they'll pay. A life for a life. And that, dear viewers, is how the little wolf bears his fangs. The city of Thebes sparkles like nothing happened. Streets glowing, crowds laughing, yet somewhere above that noise, inside the city hall, a storm is brewing. Councilmen shout, pointing fingers, desperate to save their own skins. but the once spineless Mayor Grind slams his hand on the desk. "The Duke's heirs nearly died today, and you dare whine about the hour?" The room falls silent. Even Karen Leston, the Duke's grandson, looks impressed. "Seems the mayor's the only one here who actually cares," Karen says, voice calm, but sharp enough to draw blood. Then the door opens. Men in black suits line the hall. The commissioner of the Imperial Tax Office is entering. And in walks Guile Periton, Karen's grandfather, his aura colder than iron, his smile warmer than sin. "Glad you're safe, my boy," he says. Then turns to the council, smile vanishing. "Special Division 1 will begin full audits immediately. Cooperate, or face the Royal Knights." When one trembling noble protests, Karen smoothly adds, "That's Viscount Humor, grandfather. He's the one who questioned the investigation." In a blur, Guile grabs the man by the collar. "You dare endanger my grandson?" Humor chokes out denials too late. The audit has already begun. The room feels less like a council chamber and more like an execution ground. Later, under the city's neon bright night, grandfather and grandson stroll through the market. They share food, trade jokes, is, for a moment, just family. But beneath Caron's polite smile burns something darker. He's already marked his targets. His grandfather warns, "You're coming to the capital tomorrow. His Majesty demands it." Karen nods, yet his eyes say otherwise. Tonight is his only chance to strike back. That night, Zareth arrives from Azure Ocean Castle. Karen sits on his bed, sword gleaming beside him. "Is sharpening your blade part of bedtime now?" Zareth asks. Karen grins. "A knight must always be ready." Then Zareth delivers a sealed command. By order of the Duke, Halo Leston, extract a blood price for the dead. Show them the laws of Azure Ocean Castle. Karen rises, fastening the sword to his belt. "Understood," he says. The moon hides behind cloud, and the mad dog moves into the night. "He told me to keep you drinking until dawn, sir. Guess he knew you'd try to interfere." Guile laughs dryly, but his heart twists with worry. Karen's only 13. Still just a child, yet already a knight drenched in danger. The mayor tries to reassure him. "He's strong, Commissioner. He's already slain a 6-star knight." But Guile only stares into his glass. He knows Thebe too well, a city that shines by day and bleeds by night. They talk of Thebe's black market, where anything can be bought. Smuggled goods, forbidden materials, even people. A city ruled by greed, corruption, and silence. And somewhere within that darkness, Caron is hunting. Then the name Sir Mason comes up. An 8-star knight, once of the Imperial Guard, now guarding the Emperor's illegitimate son. Guile's expression hardens. "The 6th Prince is here, of all times." He rubs his temple, muttering, "If there's no trouble, that boy will make some." Meanwhile, in the red-lit streets of Thebe Caron, and Leo walk side by side through the night crowd. Karen looks every inch the troublemaker noble. Silk shirt, gold watch, curls glowing in the light. Leo, in his plain brown jacket, scowls. "Why do I look like your servant?" "Because you are helping me," Karen says with a smirk. They head east, where laughter fades and the air thickens with danger. Whispers of vice follow them through the alleyways. Karen pulls on a white mask marked with a blue teardrop, a noble's badge in Thebe's underworld. "Won't this draw attention?" Leo asks. Karen's tone turns cold. "Try impersonating a noble here. You won't live long enough to regret it." Soon they reach a dark alley where a hooded man waits. "Are you the broker?" Karen asks, half drawing his blade, guillotine, its dark blue edge gleaming. The man bows instantly. "Sir Zareth sent word. My name is Julio." Inside a cramped safe house, Julio lays out maps and records. He explains the truth. The black market isn't one place, it's a network. 2 groups run it from the shadows. The Cur Merchant Guild, rich and cautious, and Caligo, born from slaves, ruthless and hungry. "Which one's behind the attack?" Karen asks. "Caligo," Julio replies. "They'll do anything for money." Karen thinks for a moment. 2 targets, 1 night. Then his decision cuts the air like a blade. "We start with Caligo." Julio nods. Outside, thunder rumbles. And in its sheath, guillotine hums softly like a beast that's just scented blood. Karen and his team follow Julio into a secret passage hidden behind a bookshelf classic villain decor. Down below, 2 guards block the path. Julio tries to talk, but Karen, oh no, he just smiles and draws his sword. 1/scabbard gone. Message delivered. Then a mysterious woman's voice echoes through a glowing emblem. "Let them in! They're the guests I've been waiting for!" Karen grins. Finally, someone with manners. They enter the underground city of Caligo, a glowing maze of ruins and luxury.